Welcome everyone to Coachinginsession. My name is Michael Reardon, and I'll be your mindset coach this evening. So today we're going to be talking about what it is titled, "We Might Be in Trouble Next Year." It's the end of 2021. It's Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to those who celebrate. But starting off the year, maybe on a pessimistic standpoint or on a different viewpoint than the positive nature, let's get real, right? Because we can only lie to ourselves so much. We can only cover up the hurt and the pain with so much positivity. At some point, we have to understand we need to take action. And today, I'm going to be talking about what's going on, how the world is operating, and not only tell you what to be prepared for next year, but how to make sure it doesn't affect you, especially your family. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to all those things that videos like. And let's get into it. Last episode, we had some audio issues, but this episode, I believe, is going to be on point. So stay tuned for this great content. Now, if you've been around, Omicron has been going rampant and you can't go anywhere. Social media, mainstream media, doesn't matter. You're going to hear about it. And for good reason, right? People are getting it. But people are getting better too. I know several people who have had it, they got better. Now, of course, there's going to be people who get it and they're not as fortunate as some people, right? But then we have to look. Well, were they vaccinated? Were they unvaccinated? And I did some research. And I found this very interesting. They said it was going to be 11 times more likely. It was on Fox 59 News. It was experts say it's 11 times more likely if you're unvaccinated that you're going to get sick and you're going to die, right? For lack of better terms. So now we are in danger because experts say, oh, if you get it, guys, and you're unvaccinated, you're probably not going to make it past 2022. Well, that's fear mongering, right? They're trying to say, okay, well, if you love life, if you want to live, and who doesn't want to continue living, right? We fight every single day for our life. Think about it. When you wake up, maybe your stomach is growling, maybe you have to use the restroom, and you do it, right? There's purpose. Now, of course, there could be some depression that you're getting over and you're just going through the motions of life. But if you don't suffer from depression, then you're doing things in order to have a good life. And for people to come out and say that you're going to get sick and die, I don't know if those are the type of people you want in your corner. Because here we have President Joe Biden. He had a little announcement on the 21st. And you can watch the whole thing live at realclearpolitics.com. It was his whole press conference, 52 minutes long. And I mean, just going through it and watching it is painful. It's like, ugh, really? I have to listen to this guy? And it's fear mongering. And as much as I want to say, all right, the science is right, as much as any healthy person wants someone to continue living and be healthy, I just can't get behind forcing people to take something, It's just so difficult for me to grasp. If someone doesn't want it, why make them? Why make them? I mean, it's their life, right? And it was interesting. I know some people, they are probably like C-list celebrities, maybe B-list celebrities, and they got the vaccine and they equate getting the vaccine with being intelligent. They're like, well, I got the vaccine. I'm smart. Doctors are saying it. All the experts are saying it. Get the vaccine. I'm so intelligent. And the people who don't get it are not very smart. Okay. That's one way to view it, right? And his idea, his premise was the science. They told me it was okay. But then we have a new video that came out. And that video is going to be about a pharmacist who was being filmed. I'm not sure if he knew he was being filmed, about discovering that the pamphlets for the vaccine were fake. And if you watch the video, you can get the video anywhere. It's all over Twitter. There was Infowars.com, and you can see what's really going on. They just say he has to do it, right? That's kind of what he said. Now, if we look at his mannerism, how he was moving his hands, he was nervous, how he was speaking, he wasn't prepared for those questions, right? And no one was prepared for COVID, if we think about it, right? People didn't have an abundance of money in the bank. People weren't in the best health of their life, per se, because they were coming out of a high point. It was just regular living. So these people are now having to figure out, all right, 2019, there's a new virus in town. What do I do? Christmas is here. Do I need to worry? Maybe not. But then guess what happens? Next year, 2020, that's when everything starts shutting down. And then holidays are up to the government. If you want to celebrate 4th of July, you need to make sure you only have 10 people. Last time I checked, my family's Black and we have more than 10 people in our family. So that means we're going to have more than 10 people regardless. Now, same thing with Christmas, same thing with Thanksgiving, right? And of course, if family doesn't want to invite me or invite the family, hey, that's on them, right? I'm not going to lose anything. I found it interesting though. There was someone in Texas here, they were having a conversation with someone, and they were asked if family couldn't show proof of vaccination for Christmas, that they weren't allowed to come over for Christmas, or a negative PCR test. So now guess what happens? All the PCR tests are sold out everywhere. And we weren't ready for that because everyone's so nervous about this. And of course, the new variant of COVID, it is contagious, right? It's super contagious. The first variants were contagious, but this one is just, it seems like people were ready for this one. And I'm not too sure why this one is so much more contagious, but definitely you want to make sure you're in the best health possible. And the way you do that is by making sure you head to the gym or have some type of fitness routine, making sure you're eating at least five days out of the week healthy, super healthy. And if you have 2 cheat meals, hey, that's fine, right? We can't be perfect every single day. For the people who get into the habit of saying they're going to diet and they're only going to eat a certain food, that's fine and all, but you have to understand, you have to live a little bit. Have a little bit of ice cream, have some tacos, some pizza, whatever. Enjoy life. But there's limits, right? You don't go to McDonald's every single day, because if you do, you could be one of those people who are susceptible to getting sick, right? And early in 2020, they had a whole list of people who were going to be more prone to getting sick and maybe not making it out. So health should be number one on your list. How can we be healthy this year? And it's difficult to be healthy when we have a lot of stress in our life. I understand. We don't want to push for a better us because we're worried about every little factor of our life. Where's my paycheck going to come from? If my company mandates the vaccine and I don't want to take it, what do I do? And not everyone's going to be able to say, well, I'm just going to let them fire me. Not everyone has that luxury. Some people have families to feed. Some people are living paycheck to paycheck. Some people are barely scraping by. And this virus, this way of living, is going to destroy so many families. Not in the sense of them no longer being here, but they're not going to be even recognizable to what they were. So you might be middle class, and next year, 2022, you're going to see that you're going downhill. I'm talking to Alex, and he says everyone's going downhill. And it's true. We're all going downhill. But why can't we go uphill, right? And I'm not saying that everyone in the world's going downhill, because that's not true. This is going to be a determination by the person. Society is going to keep going down, but it doesn't mean that you have to keep going down. Think of everyone's holding onto the wagon. The wagon's burning, and the wagon is going downhill, and everyone's trying to hold onto the wagon. Let go of the wagon, people. Let it go. We can get a new wagon. We can build a new wagon. And everyone's so caught up on, I need it. I don't want to let go. And that's their old self. That's their lesser self thinking. So we need to let that go and start focusing on what we can do. Because here we have another COVID Christmas. And this is interesting. Healthcare workers were considered heroes, essential workers, 2021 or 2020. And in 2021, they are now expendable. The virus is not as big anymore. Let's just get rid of the healthcare workers because they're not going to get the vaccine. We don't want them working for us. It doesn't matter that you worked through a pandemic, that you were an essential worker, that you were a hero. You are still fodder to them. And that says a lot about this administration. That says a lot about the local state governments, that they are going to mandate this for healthcare workers, and the people who put their lives on the front line, per se, are going to be thrown out. And now all of a sudden, we have a shortage. Who would have thunk that there would be a shortage of healthcare workers if there's a new variant? I mean, everyone's vaccinated. Everyone should be good. They should have covered it. FEMA was supposed to come in, right? Wasn't enough. They're burning their bridges. If we look at how they think a year off, and that year is going to be detrimental. So they're finally waking up and saying, uh-oh, we messed up. We shouldn't have mandated that healthcare workers get this because now we don't have enough. Look at travel, for example. Omicron cancels thousands of Christmas flights. Well, I didn't know Omicron had that type of power, but they're not talking about that people are sick per se. They're saying that they don't have enough staff to take care of the holidays. And I wonder why. Maybe because they were trying to mandate vaccines and people said, you know what, we don't like this. And we're leaving. So airlines have lost loyal workers due to this mandate, due to this idea that we must obey by what the president says. It's not law. So now people waking up, right? There's not enough healthcare workers. There's not even enough flight attendants and pilots to help people have Christmas. Do you think that's going to be resolved in a year? Because he's been president for a year, and I don't think he's going to make it past this year. Kamala's going to probably step in. Can she do it? Maybe, right? I'm not saying she can't. It's very possible. Maybe they have a plan of making him look super weak, Biden looks super weak, and Kamala comes in and the government says, all right, guys, we were just playing around. We know what we were doing. We were just fooling around with you. We just wanted to make it look really bad. And then when we put Kamala in, all of a sudden, guess what? Everything's amazing. And people see that. So no matter what her ranking is, right? How many people like her, people are going to say, oh, she's a hero. She saved everyone from Omicron and all the other variants. And we don't know, right? Because for all we know, people might be releasing them right now from the Wuhan lab. They might make a new variant. Hey, guys, we got the new variant. Pop it out. Boom. Camilla already has the vaccine ready. Guys, I already got the vaccine for this new bear. Don't worry. Superwoman, right? I'll take care of everything. People are going to like her, right? So they just have to get close. They don't have to steal the election every single time, of course, right? They just have to get close. Because if they get close enough, like 40, 42% maybe, heck, even 39%, they could probably do it. They can get that last 10, 11% easy. But typically, I mean, it's going to be interesting, definitely. But I think they're going to keep this going for the next few years. New variant after new variant, more shots, more mandates. And people are waking up to that too. People are leaving their jobs. They're saying, my company is saying that I'm going to have to get I'm going to have to get this vaccine because the government is mandating it. And I completely understand. You might not be in a place to leave your work. You have a family to feed. You have a life to live. But if you stay at the whim of someone's pen, right? Oh, you can be fired. Oh, you can be let go because you're not listening. Guess what? That point, you need to make sure you switch over and start something that's going to be beneficial to you. Most people are going to just operate, well, I'm working for a paycheck, but when you should be working to give people paychecks, meaning you're the boss. So people who are putting themselves in positions of, I'm staying where I am, I'm a company, over 100 employees, the mandate's coming, the state says I have to do it, I don't know what to do. And my advice is you should have already started to work to get your own business or to start something that's going to be self-sustaining, where if you lose your main job, who cares about the other job? Most people are stuck in that way of thinking. They accept what the world gives them. And then when the world gives them crap, they start complaining. There's a video here that is very powerful. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm not sure where it is. It was a BLM movie. Oh, here it is. This video here is going to be talking about the BLM thing, and we have people coming out and someone got robbed or something, and they were all talking about, oh, I don't mind if stores get looted, but if someone gets robbed, then I have a problem. What kind of thinking is that, right? We should be living as one. We should be living as people in camaraderie and helping people grow and become better. Yet we're fighting. Yet we're bickering. Yet we're still enemies. And as soon as times were shifting, didn't matter about what color you were, didn't matter about your race or your religion. They came out with, guess what? A new way for segregating people. Either they're vaccinated or unvaccinated. And if they're not vaccinated, they're the enemy. And how does that make people feel? I'm the enemy because I want to live my life a certain way. And it's difficult because at the end of the day, we want to be safe. We want to be happy. We want to have the same things that they have. The only difference is we're not going to blindly follow everyone off a cliff. Now, we can argue, right? We can argue that this vaccine is great, that this mandate is great. And we need to start to take that argument and shift that energy, right? Because now we're wasting energy. If I'm going to spend all day fighting people, telling people, oh, you can't mandate this, this is not part of the Constitution, this is not law, this is not right. Now, a state can mandate things, right? A company can mandate things, right? That's their right. They can do that. But for example, my company, I can mandate that all my employees have a vaccine, but I'm not. I won't. They can make that choice. And if they come in and they have their microchip or they have like their lanyard with their passport on it, that's fine. I don't mind because that's how they choose to live. Who am I to tell someone, oh, you're not supposed to do this because it's dangerous? Remember, you can't make anyone successful. They have to do it themselves. And the same thing is with safety. You can't make someone be safe and conscious of their surroundings. They have to do that themselves. And I talked about this before. And early on, Dr. Fauci, 2020, masks don't help. You shouldn't be wearing masks. Everyone's still wearing masks. And I explained what type of mask you should be wearing. Well, guess what? CNN finally comes out a year later saying maybe that the cloth masks that you're using, people, are not really that effective. Just want to let you know, here's some options for you. So now they're talking about N95 masks. I have talked about this. If you are serious about your health, you need to be wearing an N95 mask. Now, I don't wear a mask unless I'm like on an airplane and they force me to do it. But other than that, I mean, I'm not going to wear a mask because I feel threatened. Now, I already got sick. If I get sick again, I'm going to get better again. It is that simple. I'm not afraid to get sick. People are afraid to get sick because they don't know the outcome. Now, they might say, oh, the outcome is I'm going to get sick and I'm not going to make it, or I'm not sure, or my family's going to get sick. Okay, right? We can live in fear. But for them to finally come out a year later after they already knew, it means that they just wanted you to comply. They wanted you to comply with the whole mask wearing. And so they can identify, all right, our plan is working well. People are listening. People are scared. And when people are corralled into a corner and they don't know what to do, it's a sad sight. So this corner is going to be 2022. And we have to understand we have a choice. We can stay in the corner, wait to be slaughtered, so similar to the sheep or cattle. Or we can say, no, break free, get out of there. But the way we get out is not the way you think. It's not going to include violence. It's not going to include rising up and starting a civil war or a rebellion. It's going to be freeing your mind from all the chaos of the world. Because if we look around, guess what's happening? There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of people suffering, a lot of people stressed, a lot of people worried. And it's going to keep on happening if we allow it. So we need to take control of our mind, and we need to lock our mind down to be conscious on only the thoughts we want. So if you want a thought of a virus killing people, go for it. Your mind. But I'm going to think you're pretty silly to do that. There's so much more you can be using your mind for. Progressing, getting better in life, elevating yourself, elevating those around you. How do we have so much time to worry about something that is not even a likelihood for many people. And then for the people who do encounter this virus, they get better. So I'm not sure what's so urgent where we have to start changing the way we live, taking vaccines and listening to governments. And before we know it, they already took all our freedoms away because we gave them away. And we fought for those freedoms, and we fought to live the way we want. And they're going to keep on taking little by little. And before you know it, you're going to have nothing. So don't let 2022 be the year where you give everything away. Don't let 2022 be the year that everything dwindles into nothingness. Take action and choose to have a better life. I want to wish everyone Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I will be back on Monday, of course, so that's going to be before New Year's, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for our next podcast. Until then, everyone, take care.